Someone said, I'm telling you, you're too shaky.
Well, I mean,
well, do you want to lay yourself on something? Like, do you want to lay down and...
I think I'm going to try to just...
Not shake, maybe?
Not shake.
Okay, that's cool.
I think when I have the charger, it's more shaky.
Yeah. Also, when you do this, it's probably more shaky also. Yeah. This is Courtney Scheinmo.
Yes, very good.
Thank you very much.
Can you guys sit a little
Closer? Yeah, I'm going to put
just
this. So, beyond anything, first of all, it's the way the universe works, and I'm not one of those people that's like, oh, the universe works in weird ways, even though I am now that person. Courtney and I have like a friend in common, and not just any friend, but I was born in Kingston, Jamaica. There was like one other American family that lived within a 50-mile radius of us. It was the Bohenskis.
I know them.
Yeah, and they had a little boy named Harlan, and so Harlan and I were friends when we were like zygotes. Hold on. Harlan grows up and he marries Jen.
My best friend.
Her best friend, but like in New York, somewhere other than Jamaica. And I go off and do my thing, and all of a sudden, here comes Courtney, and Courtney says, oh, I know someone you know, Jen, who married Harlan, who my parents were friends with theirs in Jamaica and all of it. Isn't that a small world?
Who has a daughter named Quinn, and she will probably watch this later. So, hi, Quinn Bohensky.
And I have a daughter named Quinn, who will not be watching this later, because she'll be too busy watching Peppa and Dora, her new best thing. So anyway...
Hey. Tony works in videography, and he says I'm doing a good job, and it's not too shaky.
Okay, well, guess what? It's probably only Tony that thinks you, and I love Tony to death, but Tony might be the only one who thinks you're not
Tony wants to
shady.
know how he can get your autograph.
Okay, see, now I know right away that Tony's probably really like my dad, as his pseudonym being Tony. Anyway, this is Courtney Scheinmo.
Scheinmo, yes.
And you didn't start off being a children's author.
I did not.
No, of course not. Why would you? Because that would have been the easy thing to do.
That would have been the easy thing to do. I wrote my entire life since I was your children's age. I knew that I wanted to be a writer. That's all I ever wanted to do. I took every writing class you could take in college. I majored in it.
And then you went to law school.
Yes.
And we've heard this story a million times.
So,
people have a passion, but they feel like this is what I should be doing.
You should do something that sounds, like you can get paid.
Yeah.
Like
more adult-ish.
Like more adultish.
Right.
And also, I was really comfortable going to school, and that secured 3 more years of going to school. So
you're the person. I always hear people like that. It's just easier to be in school.
It's easier to be in school. I'm not saying that I necessarily wanted to study law.
Right.
I just wanted to stay comfortable.
Right.
So I went to law school, which I think is an excellent thing to do if you want to be a lawyer. Not such an excellent thing to do if you want to be anything else.
Makes perfect sense.
And my parents were not lawyers, so they're like, oh, go to law school because there's so much you can do with a law degree, which, is not advice that I give.
Yeah.
It's very expensive. So, and I went to law school, I met my friend Jen, and then I graduated, took the bar, started practicing law, and about 6 months in, on the weekend, started writing. And eventually got a book deal and gave notice.
What does that mean, started writing? Because you don't write for adults, and you don't write for infants, but it takes some sort of skill to start writing for preteens.
Well, I had written my whole life. So I kind of knew how to craft a story, and I felt like, although when I was in college I wrote more adult stuff, and when I was working at the law firm, I worked 6 days a week, sometimes 7 days a week, and I felt like, I'd have maybe 1 day a weekend to do this, and a children's book is shorter. So I'll start with that and see what happens. And then once I started that, it just felt like the right voice.
It wasn't like you were doing like Law and Order kind of SVU kind of law, and then the kids with this and it.
But that was it. Like just a parent was a lawyer.
One of your parents?
In the books. Sometimes
in the books.
Parents, attorneys, just because that vocabulary for what they're doing.
Wait, what kind of law were you practicing?
I was doing general litigation. Where I had to wear a suit every day. Also, if they say like dress for the job you want, I want to wear leggings and an oversized shirt every day. So wearing a suit was not my comfort.
Yeah, people ask me why I left the Today Show. It was because I couldn't wear leggings and a sports bra every single. Just kidding. What is that look? What's with the leggings and that's not even a real look.
It's my look though.
No. But you look better. You look completely put together. You look wonderful. You're wearing leggings and a sports bra now. You look amazing.
Yeah, and I wear a scarf just to make things fancy every day.
And you're very fancy. You're sitting here right now. I'm like, this woman is very, very fancy. It's hard to. I'm not so fancy. No.
I'm ready to go to a ball.
Yes, you basically are. I'm going to call you Cinderella. So now you decide, okay, you know what? screw you, law school.
Yeah.
We're going all in on the
Absolutely.
writing thing.
Yes.
Okay.
And so I got a deal, and I gave notice, and I invited the entire firm to my first book party, and I have never, ever missed it.
Awesome.
And you know, I think the other thing that people think about writing is that it's a lonely profession and that you're by yourself all the time. And I think in any profession, you're with a community. So when I was an attorney, I knew all attorneys, and now that I'm a writer,
You knew all the
I
writers.
know all the writers,
Right.
and we hang out all the time, and we will write in the same room with each other.
Yeah.
So even if you're in your head a lot, there is a community open to you if you want. I think it's the best job in the whole world. So if anyone out there wants to be a writer, particularly a writer for teens and kids, email me. I think you should do it. I think it's the
I
greatest
love
thing
that.
to do.
Actually, I
and I
never
wish
even
that I'd
thought about
started it
that.
earlier.
Yeah, I'm sure you meet tons of people who want to write in some capacity. They have no idea where to get
Yes.
started.
And I just think that there's so many people who say like, oh, you know, do it only if you love it because it's so hard. It's hard to make a living at it. It's, you know, it whittles you down, and
Right.
you get a lot of criticism, and you do. But it's also the most exciting thing. It's like I've never had a kid, but I do feel like, you know, for me, making a book is the closest I've come to that sensation of making something from nothing. I
Yeah.
have a spark of something, and you know, months and months and sometimes years later, I can hold it in my hands, and it's that feeling is so addictive to me that.
But
I
you know,
love doing it.
and from the other side, I will tell you this. I've mentioned it before. I was so influenced by like Judy Blume.
Yes.
Okay, so
met
I
her
read
recently. I love her.
Judy Blume.
Yes.
I will tell you that I read Tales of a Fourth Grade Nothing, and then you know Blubber and Super Fudge, and I walked around with we must increase our bust. The bigger the better. The
Yes.
tighter the sweater. Didn't even know what I was
And
talking
I
about.
thought that worked, but you know.
No, it doesn't. This does not make your breast bigger. Like, contrary to what you may think. I learned about growing up, and I learned about life that other kids my age were, and I got lost in a book. I never knew it was possible to get lost in a book before as a kid.
I think books teach you who you are, and at least they taught me who I am. And I also think that I can't remember what I read last week, even if I loved it. I can't remember it, but I remember everything I read when I was a kid.
Sure.
So I love being in that community too, because I feel like I'm helping other kids, I hope, form memories and
Right.
and teaching them who they are and helping them find their place in the world. And I think there's a study out a few months ago about how people who read fiction have more empathy than those who don't.
Yes.
So
I think did I just read that?
it's a new thing that's kind of out right
I just read that. Well, I will tell you, and I can easily tell you right off the bat, Beverly Cleary, Judy Blume. I remember Harriet the Spy. I don't know who wrote that. I remember Encyclopedia Brown.
I did not read that one.
Okay, but I can
But
tell
I've
you
read
that
all the others.
other than that, then I skipped like apparently 35 years, and then I read like a John Grisham book. Like what? I don't know what happened in there, and I wish that I had continued
I'll
to sort
make
of
you a
see it
list.
through. That's what we need to really work on. We need to work on
There's a lot
my
of good stuff.
reading history. Okay, so tell me about the books you write.
So, I write a series for, I would say, like 6 to 10-year-olds called Stella Backs. This is the 8th book in the series. This is the 9th one, which is the most recent one that just came
You've
out.
written 9 books.
No, I've written, like, way more.
You've
but-
written way more books.
Yes, I think my 16th
You've written
is the books
16
that are out
books
right now.
Wow.
It takes a long time for books to be published. though.
No, I'm complimenting you. You're like, it takes a long time. No, I didn't expect you to have more. I expected you to have less. I wrote 1 book, and I'm ready to like call it a career.
Yeah, but
I'm like, all
These
right,
are shorter,
we
though,
are
and they
done.
have pictures in them. So, I mean,
Yeah, but listen, I this is really impressive because
you.
I was like, can we make the font bigger? And they're like, no, you have to actually write more. I'm like, really?
but if it's all, but you were also on TV. And
Yeah, I was
raising
busy.
children and doing all these things, and I write
This
all
is
day
what you
long.
wanted,
So,
yeah.
and I am very like I have a rule for myself in terms of I write a certain number of words a day, and whether they are good or bad, all that counts is that I hit that number. So
Is that a writing thing, or is that
I've
just
heard
your
a lot
thing?
of other people do it.
Okay.
For me, I just need it because it's really easy to feel bad about yourself when you're writing because you can hate the ideas are perfect in your head. So, and then when you start writing and you have this perfect idea and you start writing it, all you're doing is mixing it up. And from people I've spoken to, other writers I know, that seems to be a pretty universal feeling. Like, oh, I'm just messing up this thing that feels so
No,
special.
but see,
So if I just write 1,000 words a day, and they don't have to be good,
bad, or
but
otherwise.
but it is adding every day. I can always edit, but I just have to like add to.
You also have to speak in a voice that is not an adult voice,
Well,
right?
that's easy because I feel
It
like
is?
I'm much less an adult than I'm supposed to be.
that's why we get along, because I am actually a 7-year-old trapped in this 40-something body.
I
And
think
so
if I
either.
woke up tomorrow and it was like time to go to 7th grade, I'd be like, oh my god, that was a crazy dream that I
Right,
had, but
yeah.
that makes sense. And,
Yeah. So 6 to 10-year-olds.
So 6 to 10-year-olds
that's
is
the
Stella
crux
Banks.
of your demographic.
And then I have a new series coming out in November called The Kindness Club, and this is actually the thing I'm really excited about.
Tell me.
It's for 8 to 12-year-olds, which is middle grade age.
Yeah, I'm not that big.
So
Higher up on my maturity pay scale.
maybe
So
in a few years your kids have.
yeah, no, I can strive for. I can in a few
Or you,
years.
yeah,
Olivia
so
could read.
Because Lance's daughter can read this.
I will give you a copy.
Thank
Go
you.
on. Let me see.
So it is.
Can you sign it to Olivia?
Absolutely.
Now's a good time to talk about it. That was yeah. No, I feel like
That was
that's
an
a good time
inappropriate
to
question.
bring
No,
it up.
it's a totally appropriate
Yeah.
question. I want to sign for Olivia.
Right.
Put her name in the next
Well,
book.
I have none.
Okay.
I just felt like maybe, in the middle of the interview wasn't the most, no, you know what, you're right. That was probably the best time.
5 hours.
Yeah.
Because I'm on 4 hours straight.
Yeah, I know.
Sorry.
Otherwise, we wouldn't have gotten to talk.
This segment brought to you by Dramamine. Okay, talk about the kindness.
So
Club.
so when I was doing school visits for Stella Banks, which is something as a children's author, you go into schools all the time and talk to kids. I was noticing all these signs up in the hall about kindness and no bullying, and kids would tell me stories about oh, that's our kindness corner, and if somebody needs to talk to a friend, they sit in that corner, and we all know we're supposed to go over and say a nice thing, and all these different things that schools had. And I was taking notes on it. I didn't know why, just thought it was interesting. And then a couple years ago, I was just having the worst day ever. I was having a disappointing career day. It was really cold out, and everything was going wrong, and I had to go out, and I didn't want to because someone was doing me a favor. I mentor teen writers at a program called Writopia Lab uptown, and my
I know where that is.
It's on 81st.
Yep, it's right next door to where my little one went to camp. We always passed Writopia
It's an
Lab.
amazing program for kids of any age up to 18. Teen writers, kid writers, they take you seriously
Yeah,
as a
they
writer.
really do,
And
yeah.
I was a mentor there, and my kids that I adore, they all just left for college, but I adore them so much. Their favorite writer is a woman named Libba Bray. She's a teen writer, and they were having a showcase that evening, and I had asked Libba to come and watch them and introduce them, and she had said yes. So I had to go, even though I was just in the
Last
mood
thing you wanted
because
to
she
do.
was doing me a favor
Right.
for them. And when I got there, and she walked in, and the kids started crying like the Beatles that just walked in, and she was so attentive, and she gave them her phone number and was talking to them, and it changed my entire mood. And I became so happy because I was witnessing this thing. And when I got home and I was online looking at things about what kindness can do to change your mood, and it's the boost of serotonin that if someone does something kind for you, if you do something kind for someone else, or if you just witness a kindness, you get a serotonin boost, and that changes the mood. And I thought, that's what I want to write about. And all these notes that I've been taking for the last couple of years
Finally made sense.
made sense. And so that was the spark of the Kindness Club, this series. It's about 3 kids who are in 5th grade. Chloe Silver is the main character of this book, whose initials are CS because of me. And
As well they should be.
yes, and she is new in school after her parents' divorce.
Real issues.
Semi-autobiographical, and she thinks it's really important to fit in with the right kids, which was something I understood very well. And she's sort of caught between these 2 groups of kids, and a couple that are really kind and maybe not popular kids, and popular
Yeah.
kids who are wanting to take Chloe into their group, and what she goes through.
And what's interesting is we spoke to an author earlier today who is going through this and wrote a book for really young kids about bullying. It just doesn't stop, unfortunately. It's on every level, and it's so great that we can tackle it with different genres and in different ways, and it's still applicable to all different generations. So I love this. This is great.
It's applicable to adults too. I
Sure.
think we still deal with people that are unkind to us, people who are unkind in the news or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's very hard to navigate that.
So this is great. So this is a little older.
This is older, 8 to 12-year-olds. It comes out November 1st.
Let me see. I can tell you by the font if I could how long it would take me to read this. This is like a 3-week book for me. This is they're their pictures.
There's a cover.
4.5 weeks. 4.5
But
weeks
other
for me to
people, you
that
might
book.
read it faster.
No. Other people. I'm only kidding. It's my lack of attention span. And is this
It's
part?
so
what is this?
riveting that you
Yeah.
might read it faster.
I know. I'm already riveted just by the way you described it and the cover and the whole thing. I love it.
I had nothing to do with the cover. Unlike your previous guest, I have no skill beyond I can write the words, but I cannot do anything musical. I can't draw anything.
That's okay though.
I can
That's
write a
okay.
legal
You have
brief.
amazing hair, and you're an amazing writer. Like I would kill to be able to take my hair down and have it like blow like this.
Well, this was,
That's-
there were hours of preparation.
Hello. I prepare for hours. I still don't have the ability to be able to like go like this. Like it's very fancy. You dress fancy and your hair looks
Yes,
very fancy.
Thank you.
Basically. What's this?
So this is Agnes and Clarabelle. This is for younger kids. This is actually this is a galley, which is an advanced copy. So this doesn't come out till January.
When you say younger kids.
Like kindergarten.
Oh, okay.
This is every pictures on every page.
I feel like she's saying that for me.
They will be in color one day, but right now it's just the
No, it's
advanced copy.
interesting to see when.
And it is about a chicken and a pig who are very neurotic. And
How did you try that?
okay, so it's 2 books. This is just the galley. This is Agnes and Clarabelle, and then the second book is Agnes and Clarabelle Celebrate. But it'll be sold as 2 separate books.
It's all like behind the scenes of the way books are made. I had no idea.
But Agnes is a pig, and she's a little bit agoraphobic, and Clarabelle is a chicken who's a bit OCD. And because
It's modern day friendship,
my
basically.
friend Adele and I wrote this book together because we felt like in all these books where the kids are afraid to go into the water, and then at the end of the book they go in and it's fine. And we wanted a book that represented our childhood of the kids were afraid to go in the water, and then they never did.
Well, that's
And it was
really
fine.
funny. I love it.
So they never do anything in this book. I mean, I really love this book.
That
But
is
this book is about
hilarious.
my childhood. There's a
They do nothing. This is like our show. This should be the theme of our show. Agnes and Clarabelle. I'll be the pig, you can be the chicken. And at the end of it, guess what? Nothing. There's nothing at the end of it. But we're happy. That's us. We're happy.
I think at the end of it, probably the pig eats the chicken.
no,
Maybe.
no, they're best friends.
That's just obnoxious, actually. I'm never going to eat
Agnes
you.
would never eat Clarabelle.
I love this. This
Although
is
my
actually
stepdad, we told him the story of the book, and I'm like, oh, it's a chicken and a pig, and they're best friends, and he was like, oh, it's bacon and eggs, and that had not occurred to me.
Oh, it's
Wow.
so unkosher. This is as unkosher as
This
it's
is
going
a
to get.
not kosher story.
That is really funny.
Yes, and
I
so
love
they
it.
they never conquer their fears. They never get to the beach.
Nothing
They
happens.
don't go out on Halloween. It's just, but they have each other.
This is
And it is the story. If you want to
They
know what
watch
I was like as a
Seinfeld.
child, you should read this book.
Okay.
Because I'm Clarabelle in the book.
All kidding aside, like I'm actually going to read this book. Agnes, I'm going to read. You guys have to read this book. This is
Actually,
Agnes
we're
and
gonna have
Clarabelle.
Courtney read a couple of pages.
Okay, when we go to break, I want you have. This is so funny.
Thank you.
I mean, those are great books, but you made me really laugh with this. Like at the end, you know how you learn a lesson and you overcome a fear. They learn nothing.
Well,
They
Is it the
overcome
The end of
nothing.
the blank page.
These are
They
this is
learn
the
that
best
it's
story I've ever
okay if
heard.
you don't overcome something, because there's so much pressure to be the kid that's like, and then I went in the deep end.
No.
What if you don't want to?
Guess what?
That's also okay.
Pig didn't get in the deep end, nor did the chicken.
That pig is a grown up is still not going in the deep end.
This
and
is
neither
my
that
mother.
chicken.
My mother still will not get in the pool. Always afraid. Will always be afraid. And I love you for it, Mom. This is your book. This is your life, Mom. Agnes and Clarabelle. I love this.
Thank
Courtney,
you.
this is so
Thank you.
funny. And I'm sure you didn't mean it as a comedy, and I'm dying.
No, we did. My friend Adele and I we totally were cracking ourselves up. This was something that we made up as a joke to each other. And we were calling each other Agnes and Clarabelle, making fun of other people's books about how they always conquer everything. And
Yeah.
if we were writing picture books, we would conquer nothing. And then we were like, oh, you know what? Why don't we try doing that and get paid for it instead of just like talking on the couch about it?
Right.
So we did, and
Brilliant.
we were so excited to have a book about us that
Brilliant.
they published something.
Tell me when it's out.
This is out January 17th, 2017.
Okay, and we can buy it anywhere.
And you can buy it anywhere.
Okay.
You can
So-
order it now.
You guys order it now. I'm just gonna tell you, like, do it.
Can I
This
get
is
an
funny.
autographed copy for?
You certainly can.
I want one too. Just
Trees.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, perfect. So I really appreciate you coming on. This is great.
pleasure.
You're
Thanks for having me.
great ideas, and I love the concept of it, and I love where it goes, and I love the way you write. And please come back, and especially when this gets closer to coming
I
out.
would love that.
And if you went to read a little bit as we take a little bit of a
sure,
break, that would be
absolutely.
great. We're gonna take a little bit of a turn when we come back.
Oh, Tina, you're here. Hi.
Well, we might as well just take a turn because
I didn't. I'm sorry.
she was really quiet. We're gonna talk some sports. Are you a sports?
No, I'm
Nothing.
not helpful at all.
Yeah. So that was good. That was a good transition on my part. It actually worked out really
But
well.
I know people who like
Can you spell sports?
Yes.
We are going to talk with someone who knows sports, coming off someone who can spell sports. And if that's not as good a transition as you can come up with, we'll figure it all out.
From nothing to something.
From nothing to something. please read us a little
All right.
bit about the two friends